A second camera. I'm taking maybe we can make it
You take work better for you anyway.
Family free? Oh yeah. I'll come round.
Everything good?
না না ভাই কারণ
হ্যাঁ তাই নাকি? দাদার ছবি তো দেখছি দাদার আজকে পূজা পাঠি পূজা চলতেছে না, দুর্গা পূজা
এখানে
ওনারাই বানাইছে সকালে
আমাদের তো দাওয়াত কেউ দিতে পারবে
তা দিতে পারতো না।
লুচি আর কি যেন খায় ওরা লুচি আর আলু লাড্ডু খাবে এই একটা মাইয়া এবং খুবই ভালো ইয়ে ছাত্র বেশি লাগছে না কারণ যে লাস্ট বার করছিলাম না পনেরো লাগছে 9 রানে একবার গেছে
পূজা করতে না ওখানে বিদায় বাইরে কিলকিলি বার
তখন আস্তে আস্তে ইম্প্রুভ করতে বললাম লাস্ট আস্তে মিরাজ থেকে কমিউনিকেট না তুমি হোয়াইট ফিট তখন আমি বোলিং স্টাইল চেঞ্জ করে দিচ্ছি একটা নেয় আমার এখন স্লাইডটা দিলে কী হয় এক্সপিরিয়েন্স না শর্টের যে মাল লাগে তো পা আমার ভাই আপনাদের কেস আচ্ছা গতবার নিয়েছিল না 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 গতবার তো মানে ভালো বলার সিরিয়াসলি পাঁচের মধ্যে না পাঁচের মধ্যে ছিল পাঁচের মধ্যে থাকে সমস্যা না আমরা তো বোঝাই না আমরা তো খুবই ভালো ওরা নিচ থেকে সুলতান মানে আমাদের হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ অর্ডার তো বন্ধ করে করে দেবে ভালো ফটো হ্যাঁ আমি আমরা এখনকার সময় গত বছর আইসিএম হচ্ছে আপনার টিম মেম্বার আসলে আমি কোর্ট করে না আসলে বেশি কিন্তু জানি না যে এই মাল গাড়ি কিনছে দেখতেন আমি কেন আমি কইলাম কয়েকটি ট্যাক্সি নিয়ে পরে দেখি ট্যাক্সি চালাইতেছে নিয়ে ওয়েট করেন সিস্টার শেষ এরপরে দেখেন কেমনি লাইসেন্স নীলক্ষেত থেকে বাইক নাজুক ভাই কেন গাড়ি কেনার খুশি চেহারাটা কেমন চেঞ্জ হয় আপনি গাড়ি গেছেন আমাদের খুশি লাগতেছে মানে আপনি খুশি দেখাইনি
ভালো গেছে
বোল্ট মারেন ভাই বোল্ট আপনার যে মাথায় চুল নেই বোঝা যাইতেছে সিরিয়াসলি বোঝা যাইতেছে না দেখি সাইড দেখি এই সাইড দেখি আরে সাইডে দেখলে স্টেডিয়াম যাবে সামনের দিকে দেখা যাচ্ছে খারাপ হবে আপনার ওইদিকে তাকান বোঝা যাচ্ছে না এই কাটিং দিয়ে বোঝা যাচ্ছে পিছনে আপনি পিছনে দেখে কাটিং করতে পারেন এই কাটিং দিয়ে বোঝা যাচ্ছে এগুলো বিক্রি করবো কাইতে দিয়ে সিরিয়াসলি তো আমি এটা খেয়াল করি নাই
ব্যাট করতে মোরালি করতে বলা হচ্ছে
স্টেডিয়াম ভালো
পরে যখন দেখে তখন ঠিক আছে না
আমাদের আরও প্রসেসিং বাড়বে প্রেসিডেন্ট কাপ ভালো লাগে সেগুলো বেশি যারা করি যারা চেনে না ছাড়ে অনেক বাংলা আমি আসতে পারি ফ্রি আসতে বাংলাদেশ কথাবার্তা শুনলাম হাসি চুপচাপ খাবো না বামে গিয়ে একদম কর্নারে গিয়ে আবার টানে একদম আন্ডারগ্রাউন্ড ডানে যাবে ডানে গিয়ে দেখবেন যে হাঁটার রাস্তা দেখবেন WC তারপরে একদম মেলাদিন ভাই আমার এই জায়গাটা দেখতে
ঠিক আছে
Gracias.
Who's playing football? Who's playing? Oh, you're just playing.
তাইলে আমরা বাসায় মেরে দেখতে যাবে আমাদের কালকে যাইতে গেছি কারণ আমি কিন্তু হ্যাঁ আমি কিন্তু দুইবার টিম নিয়ে যাবো হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ কালকে আমি বলতে চাই যে ফ্রেন্ডটা আসছিল না সেদিন মাঠে ওর আমার বার্থডে। আসসালামু আলাইকুম ভাই, কি অবস্থা?
শুভ ইভিনিং।
এমনি চারজনকে পুরোটা লয়ে বলবেন, একটু বইতেও দিবেন না। রিজাল্টটা তো শুধু ঘোরাফেরা করে, শুধু টিকটক না, আমার ভিতরে ঢুকুন।
না ভাই আমার প্যান্ট ছেঁড়া আছে,
চিন্তা করছে
কিরে ওয়ালিদ তোকে করোনা হচ্ছে না? অফিসে তোরা একদম মাস্ক করে দিতে কে রেকর্ড করলো ভাই? আমার কাছে কে রেকর্ড বাংলা কথা কেউ বুঝবো না, ট্রান্সলেট।
Okay, yep, you got that sorted now. Alright, we're about to get started, guys. Just give us one more minute. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for taking up your Friday evening to sit there and listen to me to talk about cricket in Estonia for 4.5, 5 hours. I really appreciate it. I didn't think it's almost like a sect, isn't it? Like you got no real idea what's going to happen until you get here, and then you hear what's going to happen. So we are actually streaming live to the World Wide Web as we speak. So thank you, Robbo and Lotta, for working on this. And yeah, so any swear words tonight, just make sure you say them really loud so everyone can hear. And if anyone is actually watching online, thank you very much and welcome to Cricket in Estonia. So it's been a big year for cricket and also life in general. I guess the biggest thing we've had to get used to is a proper cricket pitch to play on. COVID comes second to that. So we moved away from the Hippodrome and had a new ground at Tiscare. We had a board meeting last week and we have officially had a divorce from the Hippodrome. So the Hippodrome will be no more run by the ECA. It is totally open for any of you guys who want to go down and play, but you need to organise it yourself as a club. It's a great location still, that hasn't changed, so by all means use the Hippodrome facilities. So let's just take a minute, sorry? So with the bright future that we've got ahead of us, let's just take a few minutes to look back at where we came. In 2013 I came across to play cricket in this country called Estonia, and there's a lot of passionate and proud people here. But we're playing at the Hippodrome. Basically you can see on the left hand side pitch, it was all hands on deck. We had to look after our own cricket pitch. These were called the working bees back in the day, where we had to rip up the pitch after a long winter of snow and relay it so we could actually play on it. The Hippodrome management promised that there'd be no horses walking on the cricket oval. They must be really big dogs. So we had to fix that every single year. And then the padlocks kept getting super glued because the horse owners that were there didn't like us playing cricket on the cricket field. Funny that, considering they had the whole rest of the venue to play. So every couple of weeks we had to buy new padlocks because we couldn't open the ones we had. Luckily enough, shed number 11, even with the padlock on, could be opened anyway, but that's an inside secret. Some good times. The Hippodrome served us well, but it's onward and upward when we start growing. So thank you all for the efforts that you put in with the Hippodrome over the years. We hosted some great events. Basically back then everything was very heavy-handed. It was volunteers only. It's still pretty much that now. We had low ICC assistance financially, but that was to be expected because we only had 3 clubs. We had generous assistance from our own ecosystem. Basically all the players in the association were either sponsors or donors to the association. There wasn't much money we could get from local Estonian companies because what is cricket in Estonia and why don't you guys play football? And that's understandable. It's basically seen as the immigrants' game. When we had our trips to Finland, we had a very interesting selection policy because we'd pick 5 or 6 of our best players, and then the next 4 or 5 we'd have to pick if they A, had a driver's license, and B, had a car so they could drive us to Kerava when we got to Helsinki. It did okay though, we did win. We did host some ICC events. I think it was ICC Tim 2012 did 3, so 2013. So very mixed bag there. We hosted touring teams. Cricket in Estonia. At one stage we could play in the winter with the cricket on ice, and also winter the destination back in the day to come for a weekend away, play some cricket, and then chase Finnish birds at the Meta in the evening. But what that did do was it took away a couple of weekends from domestic cricket. So you could promote the game of cricket on one hand, but then domestic cricket would suffer on the other. So it was really tight situation there with the one oval. When we're trying to promote the game of cricket in local schools, that was obviously a high priority back then. We had a dedicated group of coaches, both Estonian and expat coaches, but they had jobs and they had families and they had to take time off of work to go and do these things. They had to organise their own personal schedules to go into schools during the day and coach. It was very generous of them, but it was very high maintenance. Back then we had no umpires. The batting team did the umpiring, the batting team did the scoring. We only had white clothing, we only had red balls, we only had 1 division, we only had 1 competition, we only had 1 black 10. That's sort of good because then you can't break 2 in one day, I guess. Basically it was a good, honest, hard-working group of people who did their absolute best to do what they could with what they had, did a hell of a lot more than they should have and all that they could have. There was heavy promotional work, basically all word of mouth, and we got as far as 5 or 6 teams, and then it was time to look elsewhere. We needed some big financial assistance to do that, and that came along. And why it was important to grow, and it's not just that it's the expats game on the weekend. Oh, here we go. There's some scenes from the past. We had the Super 8s on the Wednesday night. We had the 2 teams back then. There was a 3rd club that was Talling United. We had 3 clubs a couple of years ago, so you guys done a great job. And if anyone hasn't mowed the Hippodrome and the lawn mower hasn't broken down, you haven't been part of the ECA because this is a regular occurrence. Or you could mow the whole Hippodrome and not realise the blades are up. And this is where the Hippodrome is at the moment. At least the horses are taking care of the Hippodrome. Maybe we should employ that before we got Vinny to get out with his lawnmower with no blades. But yeah, we've come a long way in the last couple of years and it's great to see. ICC scoreboard. Yep. So with the growth of cricket comes the eyes of the ICC. We get back in those days, back when we had 3 clubs, We were ranked in a series of statistical data, and when it comes to the ICC eyes in the world of the data, the amount of cricket we played, we were in category, or Sierra Leone were doing good back in category J. Who else? Iran was doing good, but unfortunately in category N we had Estonia. We got the same amount of funding as the Turks and Caicos Islands. I think our Tiscray cricket ground at the moment is actually bigger than the Turks and Caicos Islands, but I'm sure they've got a hard-working bunch of individuals there as well. We wish them all the best. So to grow and get money from the ICC, there's a few things that we had to do. And we had to meet a few criteria, and I'll just have a quick look here. Rob, just go to the top. We are judged on 100,000 different metrics. So when we start saying we want women to play in cricket, not only do we fully believe they will enjoy cricket, it also helps us get some funding from the ICC, who, when you meet these metrics, they are more than willing to pay out. They're a very generous bunch of guys, and they are all for cricket in Estonia. But unfortunately, we have to make sure we're meeting these criteria, and this is what we're doing at the moment. Yeah, it's got the senior plane, which is basically 20% funding. Now the senior plane is us. In the whole ECA, senior plane counts for 20% of the ICC funding, but us as senior players, we're about 97% of the actual players. So this is why we don't get as much money from the ICC as other clubs can. And if you look across those percentages right at the top, we've got junior playing, modified playing. Just recently, we've got official confirmation from the ICC, thank you Michael and Andy if you're watching, that our Super 8s competition on Wednesday nights classifies as modified playing. So thank you for that, guys. Other involvement, women, juniors, etc., and we go across the whole lot. And non-ICC ICOM, that's going to come into play a bit later on. So this score sheet was from 2017, so Robbo, can you just scroll down to Estonia please? You got the money on the right hand side, so where were we? That's probably my computer being a bit slow. Here we go, here we go. We should pair up with Turks and get $25,000 between us. But yeah, so when it comes to the level of cricket development that the ICC want to see, what we had then was a little bit low, but it was a good platform to move forward. I haven't got the most recent scoreboard from last year. That's going to come out in the budget the next little bit. But it was pretty clear to see that we had to move on. The other unfortunate part about that is there's a change to the ICC boards, I reckon, what was it, 2018. And the ICC board decided they wanted to re-audit every single country. And at that stage they brought in a rule that every country playing for ICC points and receiving money from the ICC had to have 8 senior teams. At that stage we only had 4. There was Tallinn, there was Sarama, there was United, and the Vikings just joined. So we had, what money we had was suspended until we got to 8 senior teams. Luckily enough, we already had plans in place to grow, because that's what we want to do in this country of Estonia. When you live here from the age of 0, or you've moved across, you fall in love with the country, and you love cricket, so you want to grow the game. And that's what we did. So out of the Sarama side, Moni and Shoaib, who were working together, decided to go form the Tigers. Yeah, go good boys. At that stage we had Casey, who played in the 2013 Tallinn Premiership over Sarama. He moved to Tartu. He formed the Tartu team. Also out to Sarama we had Rana Rashid, who formed the Vikings. This was all going pretty well. We had a bit of a hiccup with these guys called the Baltic Kings, who took half of Sarama and half of tallying with them. It's all great creating one club, but there's no good taking two clubs out while you do it. That's not the way we promote things in Estonia. So what happened in that situation? The tallying, the Sarama didn't close. We just formed remaining players on playing days and become the Tallying Hippos. So as a legal identity, the Tallying Cricket Club and Sarama Cricket Club still exist. We just play as the Hippos until we get enough players to expand. We'll get into that in a minute, Rana. Then we had this young gentleman by the name of Safe rock into Tallying Hippos one winter. He had a reasonably decent season, possibly 2,000 plus runs and 700 wickets, so he decided to form his own club, the Stallions. At that stage, United was absolutely growing like gangbusters. They were getting players come left, right and centre. United were recruiting like champions. It got to the stage in last year where Murali and Jay were messaging me saying, we got enough for 3 teams. I'm like, this is great, you've gone from 1 to 3, this is fantastic. Unfortunately, COVID happened and things like people got a little bit scared, but we got the Tartu United Falcons out of it. So well done, Jay and Rafaq for finishing off the season. We also then had Tartu team play, and Mahbub was down in Tartu and did some recruiting and did some schools training and got a team up and running. So well done, Mahbub. Down there in Tartu was a pretty tricky situation with not many people, and getting 2 clubs there, that's really good, so thank you for all your efforts. Mahbub was almost actually ready for last year's indoor season, but his team would have made it 11, would have made it very awkward operationally to do, and it was too close to the deadline, so I had a very honest conversation with Mahbub, and he may have called me a few names. We had a very good discussion, but the end result was he went off in the off-season and recruited harder and got some great players together, and he was ready for the outdoor. When these guys come up for the first outdoor team, they were ready to play the Tartu Ball, so congratulations, Mahbub. All the best this season. And then we had, this is not in chronological order, sorry Shoaib. Shoaib actually moved out the Tigers and formed the Stars previously as well, so all of a sudden we've had this big boom from about 3 or 4 teams to 10 teams. It was absolutely fantastic. Next up, we've had and received a proposal from Arslan to be called the Strikers for the indoor season. That's been approved. And also, Tallying Hippos are going to have a second team run by Rana for the indoor season. So we've got more clubs ready to go as we speak. Just 1 second, so, okay, yeah, just stay there, I think. What's the next one? Okay, that'll do. So as these clubs started to grow, 2 years ago we tried the longer format of the game. We were really shit at timings when it came to T20s. We were absolutely horrible. T20s would take 4.5 hours to complete, and it just wasn't good enough. So we decided to impose time penalties in the indoor season. That seemed to work. And then the following year, the T20s were much better on time. We finished what we needed to do. So we decided to expand to 35 over cricket. We thought going to 40 over cricket would be a little bit too much. So we went with the 35 over cricket. We then started having neutral umpires, and then we started paying them. We started wearing covered clothing for the T20s. We started using white balls. We started implementing match reports, and we started officially reporting suspect bowling actions. And this is largely due to Clyde, so thank you very much, Clyde, the last couple of seasons for bringing this standard in. But what it meant is we went from 3 or 4 teams to 10 teams. We started implementing standards, and this is what the ICC loved. And this is what we love deep down as cricketers. We like being told that we're wrong, even though we know we were wrong, and we want to argue that we're not. And this is what it is. This is what cricket is. Cricket is a game of rules. You learn the rules of cricket. It's 1,000 pages, and no one even knows them. It's just ridiculous. But deep down, we like being in the rules. It's like the boundary. We like going over the boundary sometimes, but with the rules, you can't do that. Yes, absolutely. And also, if the ball pitches outside leg stump, there's no real need to tell the umpire where leg stump is. Or is there? We don't know. The bowler and the umpire have a very differing opinion when it comes to LBWs, and that's a discussion for another day. I don't bowl. I'm quite under bowled, so I don't know what that feeling's like. We then went to white ball cricket as well. We had T20 in the white ball with 40 overs, white ball on a Saturday, red ball on a Sunday, so some really good progression here. We then were brave enough to try a 40 over format this year. And I don't know what you guys think, but I think the 40 over format is much better than the 35 over, and it's 10 times better than T20. Everyone's in the game all the time. Batters can have a slap, they'll get out. Good batting makes runs, good bowling gets wickets. And some of the games in the 40 over format this year were bloody fantastic, so we're going to keep that again next year. I think with the ageing group we have at the moment, maybe 50 overs is a stretch too far, so we'll keep it at 40, I think. So, the other things that we've achieved in the last couple of years, we started hosting international tournaments. The European Cricket Network come to Tallinn, and that was pretty amazing. We got a section later on for the ECA, and we're going to touch on that back then. It brought the idea of having tournament directors at the ground, match referees. This obviously is a lot of volunteer work, but this is the way proper cricket's played, and we love getting proper the way we keep going. I mentioned the Super 8. I mentioned the Super 8s before. That's great. The ICC approved it in a small extent. So in the future, we've come from 3 teams to 10 teams. What's going to happen next? And these are a few ideas that the board are tossing up, the boys are tossing up. I was tossing up at 7:30 this morning while I was writing these notes. I can't believe my handwriting is that terrible in the morning. But some things we do have in play. We have a club freeze coming, because you can only spread the association so fast before clubs actually disappear. So at the moment, what we got is 3 or 4 people come to the board with 10 names, and they get a license to go play cricket. That's great to a certain extent, but in a country like Estonia, the board needs to be a little bit more responsible moving forward, so that players can't keep creating clubs just because of disputes. And we need a proven documentation on how we're going to grow the game with the new club. It's similar to an NBA style situation, where the association decides when there's going to be a new club, and they appoint a board of that new club to make it happen. This is going to come forward, and this is only to better the existing clubs we have had that have put in the hard work we've had previously. Yes, yeah, this is all future. This is all, at the moment, some of these things I'm going to read out are pie in the sky. Some of these things will happen, and everything in between. So yeah, the next item on the list is we're going to heavily, when I say we, Tim Heath, is going to heavily invest in Tartu with his posse, Travis, Crossy, Mark, Robbo, all the guys get this stuff happen. And we want 6 clubs in Tartu in 5 years. Yeah! I'm going to drink to that. I think I just gave Mahmood a heart attack. He's literally falling off his chairs. But one thing we do as a board of the ECA, we make big claims, we demand results, but we also assist you in the way. and we've done that all the time, and we're going to do it again. We have got an agreement with the Tartu Council for some land. These are the plans. We have a cricket pitch, we're going to have a rugby pitch. Tartu don't know what cricket and rugby is, so we're going to give a soccer pitch. And they go, well, the other two pitches are fine then. We have some photos of the land that we're going to use, and it's very cheap. Tartu Council want to work with the Estonian Cricket Association. We haven't had that previously with Tallinn councils. Recently, the Haiku Council has been very receptive, but no one's ever come to us like the Tartu Council has and said, right boys, we'll give you this, but we want you to run it. So the ECA are going to run this. Tim's going to pay for it and get some return on investment a bit later. Thank you, Mark. Mark's also going to chip in a couple of Czech kronas. But yeah, that's the next growth part. This is on top of growing in Tallinn. So we're going to need everyone's help here. We have organised 2 set days in the next 3 months to have 100% commitment from all ECA members to go down to Tartu and have a development day. We're contacting the schools, we're putting out flyers. We're going to go down and we're going to crush Tartu with cricket. And Romeo is going to be our lead man. But that's next, because we have nothing much to do anyway, so let's whack another town in with another 6 clubs. We want to get keep Clyde happy. We're going to get umpires panel and disciplinary panel as well. Clyde's wanted this for a while. He's 100% right. We just need the bodies to organise it, and we need people to actually run this panel properly. That's still on the agenda. We are still going to work with the Finnish Cricket Association with collaboration with the umpires and officials. When the new ground gets built, we're going to have Friday night 20. We're going to be playing in semi-lights with the cameras on, broadcasting to the world. That is going to be fantastic. Sorry? We'll just take this one. This one's bloody bright at the moment. That will do. So most of us have jobs. We study. We've got lives. We've got other stuff we want to do, and on top of that, we do ECA stuff. And then we build grounds at Tiskore, and then we build grounds at Tartu. Then we need to go into schools. So this year, for the first time, we've actually hired a dedicated development officer, which is Robbo. So Robbo's part-time at the moment, and moving forward, he's going to be the guy that goes and contacts schools with Mart, who's got the contacts, and hopefully Marco comes back in the next couple of years when he has to put his kid into school and he can get the contacts there. And Anne-Marie, because she's not busy anymore. But this is the stuff that when Dan Rennick was doing this in 2013 with Berger, it got numbers. It got numbers and it worked, but you needed someone officially accountable for that and to run with it and keep the contacts, and that's what we got now. So as much as you guys are doing everything at club level, from ECA level, we're doing just as much as well to make sure this happens. And if you guys need anything, hit up Robbo, ask him for kit, ask him for schools, whatever, just hit up Robbo and he'll help you out. Oh, and we're getting a 2-story clubhouse for Tiskore, so yeah. Three, sorry. I was going to say 3 for next year. Now what I'm going to talk about next year. We're getting midweek Super 8s back. We're going to have an online ECA merchandise shop so we can send our Estonian national kit to Uzbekistan, because we are massive in Uzbekistan. The touring team's going to push midweek because generally all the teams come from England and generally they're used to playing midweek, so it really fits in well with us and we don't have to disrupt the domestic season on the weekends. Yes, they can wear clothes to at least 3 p.m. in the afternoon if that's okay. There's less paperwork for the police if it's before 3. There may even be a housing estate and a school built nearby Tiskore. There's going to be a new board structure coming as a as an association, as you grow, you need to redevelop and look at ways where you can do things differently again. Back a couple of years ago, there was just three club members. We had 3 people on the board. That was fine then. It's a different situation now. We need experienced board people on the board that can run an association like an association. At the moment, we've just got players who've got big hearts, who want everything to be right, but we're just players, we're just people, we're not official board people. So we want to really look at the way we can get a new board in and do everything properly, and it's going to be really, really good. We're going to do more ECN, hopefully. Dan, if you're watching, Dan Weston, we're going to do more of that, mate. I know you asked me in September, but I was categorically rooted, and I couldn't host another one. Do we have relegation? So just 1 second. Yeah. Another thing we want to introduce with this club growing, and Wednesday midnights, is a promotion relegation system. We can't have 20 clubs in the same tier every time, or more importantly, we can't have 6 clubs in the same tier all the time. So the promotion relegation system is very easy. If you're good, you're at the top. If you're medium, you're in the 2nd division, and you get to work on promoting and recruiting new players. And if you're new or you're having a bit of a bad run, you go to the midweek. It's not unusual to use in football systems, and it's very, very good considering we're heading towards the online promotion of cricket, that we want the 6 best teams playing every week. And it doesn't mean that your club's shit, it just means that you might be having a bad year. Go down to Div 2, win it and come back up. Because in Australia, the AFL, so if you come in, you're a really good side and you're shit for 10 years, there's clubs below you who have done all the hard work, you don't get the exposure that the top level does. And just reiterating, it doesn't mean you're bad, it just means a bad run, and give someone else a go who's worked just as hard as you guys, but deserve a shot at the 1st division. So this hasn't been discussed in detail, but generally it's going to work like this eventually when we get there. We don't want to kill the association by doing this, so something like this will come in when the time is right. With that being said, just one moment please. Okay, so we only have 2 computers and 2 people down here, so with all this cricket that's happened in the past, we all love our online stats, and Cricket HQ can be good and Cricket HQ can be bad, and some of us can be really bad at looking after it. But there's one gentleman I'd like to shout out who's done nothing but try to get the Cricket HQ situation fixed. Sometimes spend up to 4 hours in one situation tidying up results from the weekend. So for your efforts in the last 1.5 to 2 years, Tim Cross and Cricket HQ, thank you very much. Okay. Unfortunately, with eyes wide open last year, we were massively pumped after this presentation, and we were looking forward to what 2020 held. We had a new ground being built, we had 10 teams in indoor, and then COVID came around and fucked everything with no lube. But at that stage when we had to call the indoor off, with that far into a season, that there was clearly one team that dominated for the whole year. And on first appearance into a Estonian Cricket Association competition, the Italian Stallions were absolutely remarkable. They did everything that was asked for them. I didn't remember asking them to finish top in their first year, but they did that on their own. So I'd like to call up Safe, the captain of the Italian Falcons, to take the trophy for the indoor 2019-2020. Safe. Awesome. Okay, yeah, just going on top of the COVID thing, obviously travel was rooted, no one could go anywhere. It was only last year the ICC said that all nations with ICC qualifications could play points. This produced a frenzy of Facebook and WhatsApp messages between countries saying, can we go here, can we go here? Tournaments were planned, flights were booked, everyone was all ready to play the biggest season of 2020 international cricket that had ever been seen. That went out the window in March and everything got cancelled. There's clubs in Europe that really had a big plan for this year that really wanted to develop through the international scenes, but that was not meant to be. Luckily enough for Estonia in end of May, they started lifting the restrictions, and by August we were able to accept people from Latvia and Lithuania. So within a week's notice, the Baltic Cup was all organised, Latvia, Lithuania and Estonia. Thanks to Trav and his team, Robbo and his team, Rana and his food cards. We managed to host the Baltic Cup. It was on the public holiday, if I remember rightly, so that would have been August 23, August 24. It was a round robin, so 4 teams. Estonia put in 2 teams, Latvia, Lithuania, we played. And it was good cricket. Latvia come to play. There's no doubt that whenever Latvia go to a game of cricket, they play. ECA won. ECA won, Latvia came second, ECA 2 came third. And Lithuania came fourth. It's actually the first time in a couple of years that Lithuania had any sort of cricket team at all. They showed good promise, so Lithuania, if you're watching, well done, come back again soon. But yeah, we had a pretty successful couple of days, and we have the Baltic Cup here. The Baltic Cup is actually a trophy. Thanks to Trav for organising. And I'd like to call up either Tim Heath or Monty, who are captain and vice captain of the ECA 1, to come and collect this trophy. Or both. Monty and Tim. It's always good to get one over the Latvians. They might have more toes than us, but we're playing better cricket at the moment. Whatever.
Honestly, it was a great and great pleasure to represent the country, and for the first time I was representing Estonia, and it was a great honor for me that we ended up the series as a champion. And today we are like it was always great pleasure for us to represent Estonia in different countries, in different tournaments. So far we learned a lot from Tim Heath as a captain, but for the first time due to his injury, I was elected as a captain and ended up as a champion. So thanks Tim, and thanks for this everything. So, thank you.
Thank you, Monty. Thank you, Tim. Okay, sticking with the COVID situation, which is not good for any of us. Usually each year, for the last couple of years, Sarama, or as our best mates in Croatia like to call it, Sarima, host a Mediterranean Cricket League. That was cancelled, unfortunately. I contacted a guy on WhatsApp. We have a cricket group. He was in Montenegro. They were hosting a 4-team competition in the port of Montenegro. One by one, they fell out because they couldn't go. At this stage, travel to Croatia and Montenegro was a little bit how you doing, but still possible. So the team that has usually gone to Croatia were asked if they'd like to go to Montenegro. It was a capped team, so we could only travel with 12 players plus Hannah and Kedri. So we went down to play in Montenegro. Sorry? Well, they were playing for something else, but it was a bit of a highlight because this happened at the end of the season, and we'd only played cricket in Tallinn. Usually we're used to playing outside of Tallinn at least once or twice, or having the option to play out. Whether we do play outside or not is different, but having the option to do it, we all chose to run with it. So we went down to Montenegro, and it was a 2-game tournament. It was played on flex matting. I don't know if you guys know what flex matting is, but it's like this this cross matting that's plastic, is 1 inch thick. So you don't get too many bounces like the Hippodrome, but the ball can pitch 1 metre in front of you and jump up past your shoulders. So it's pretty challenging, but it's a good setup. We lost both games by Bees Mun. It was really close, but it was a really good time to play some cricket and promote the game of Estonia. I think it was actually business talk for 70%, cricket for 20, and sleeping for 10. Most of the guys in Montenegro, there was no Montenegros, they're all ex-British citizens, and they had the same interests as most of us that went down there. There are a lot in the gambling industry, there's a lot in the service industry, and in regards to the Baltic Cup, and in regards to Montenegro, in regards to, you're probably sick of me speaking so much at the moment, let's watch a couple minutes of those two events in Tallinn and Montenegro, and then we're going to have a break. And when we come back from the break is 1 second. No one can back up after Robbo with that massage. So, yeah. So you can see by some of the shots where the photos are taken. Some really weird shots have been played where the ball's going at different angles, but the reason we played in the Estonia shirts is we contacted Montenegro. I contacted Montenegro. I'm the ICC delegate for Estonia. So when I said that we want to come down and play, they automatically assumed it was the Estonian national team coming down to play. So it was lost in a little bit of translation, but by the time the week came, we said, okay, we're coming down as Italian Hippos. Saaremaa, they're like, well, we've told everyone you're the Estonian national team. And Tim took his boat and we had to stay in the port of Montenegro, so they're expecting like the national team to be there. So I'm like, oh, we're screwed now, so let's get the national tops. And we played in hippo pants in the national tops. But they loved it, it was great, and they're still talking about it today, and it's fantastic. And you just, lots of smiles in those photos in the Baltic Cup, lots of smiles. You guys are laughing at all the stuff, and this is what cricket is about in Estonia. Yeah, it's hard work, but we're all in this together and we all love it. And there's one person in this association that seems to love it a hell of a lot more than all of us, and I thought I loved it a lot. And I get trumped by this guy every time. And I've played a lot of cricket. Whether it be good or bad, I've played a lot, we've played a lot, Crossies played, Filers played a lot, Sace played a lot. But in the Baltic Cup, Romeo was on the side, batting, sorry, he was non-striker, doing the old, yeah! To the point that everyone on the field and off the field was laughing. And that's what cricket's about. Yeah, try to win, but above all, play it for fun. This guy comes from the other side of the Tartu every Saturday. And if anyone who deserves an encouragement award and keep it going, Romeo, it's Romeo. Come up and get an award, mate. Who's going to take the photo that Romeo is? Bye. I think I'm safe.
Romeo, smile. Smile.
Romeo, quick word on your love for cricket and your love for cricket in Italian.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't be so quiet, Romeo.
Cricket is one of the things that actually it saves a lot of youngsters' lives. I think instead of going end up with the balls and drugs, cricket is like it's my drug actually. Cricket is my drug.
Okay.
This is my strength. Right. That's all I can say. Hopefully, like you said, next 5 years time, 6+ teams in from Tartu. Tough fight for Tallinn. Watch out.
Okay. So yeah, we need a little bit of happiness after that COVID talk. Then, okay, so as the restrictions started easing in Estonia, we started thinking we could get some cricket up and playing. The problem is you're fighting in Estonia in regards to government regulations. I don't expect you guys to read that, by the way, but what happened is one Friday when they released the weekly reports, they said that teams of up to 10 people could play sport with no spectators unless your international sporting body said you need more than 10 players to play the game. That basically included cricket. So we can't play a game of cricket with 10 players, we need 11. If you're a game of tennis, you only have 2 players max. So when Estonia released this information on the Friday saying if your international board says you need 11 players to play, you're allowed to play with no spectators, instant. Board meeting Sunday, Tim's office, get your ass in there. We went into Tim's office on the Sunday, we said, how can we make cricket happen next Saturday? What do we need to do? We needed to buy a lot of shit from Great Nichols. Everyone needed a new box, everyone needed a helmet, everyone needed gloves. Right, let's order it now, let's get it sorted. Yeah, some helmets are still in Crossy's office. He's fine with it, by the way, by the sound, so don't rush in there. So and we needed to make it happen, we needed fixtures done, Crossy needed to get on the Cricket HQ, everything needed to happen. When usually you got 6 months, we had 5 days. And we needed all the clubs on board. And we needed a pitch laid. We didn't even have a bloody cricket pitch. We weren't expecting to have it that season. So poor Trav and his guys had to lay a cricket pitch that was initially meant to be laid by guys in England who couldn't get across. And come Thursday night, we're 1 day away, the gear hadn't arrived, the cricket pitch wasn't laid. We're like, we can't play on Saturday, can we? Surely not. I sent a message out to Mac. I said, Mac, fuck, we need the Hippodrome mode. Can you mow it? Mac went and mowed the Hippodrome as a backup. Thank you, Mac. But on Friday, Trav fixed the pitch. We got some gear. You guys got your teams together. And on the Saturday, we played cricket. Well done, guys. That was fantastic. It cost us a small fortune, but we got there. We were the first cricket association, not just in Europe, I think in the world, because the Southern Hemisphere weren't playing cricket. So we were in the eyes of everyone, because if we rushed back from COVID too early and someone got a case, we were screwed. So I had to pen this letter to the ICC. I said, guys, this is what we've done, this is what we think. What do you think? Because you just can't play, whether we like it or not, if we play a game of cricket in Estonia, we are seen as the top level. Whether we think it is or not, we are Div 1 when we play that game. So if something was going to happen in cricket in Estonia, it would go back to the ICC and we'd be absolutely buggered. So I sent an email to the guys. This is 1 page of 3 page of 1 email of 3 emails. They trusted us because they've worked with us a lot. They've worked with Tim a lot. They've worked with Mart a lot. They've worked with me a lot. They said, if you guys are 100% with this as a board, we're going to back you in. So that's a risk we took, but we knew that we could make it happen. It was also the debut of the 40 over competitions on Sunday. And what a weekend that was. I think, just speaking from the Hippos, we played against Tallinn United. I reckon we hit 3, yeah, Travis hit the first runs on the ground, well done, Travis, yeah. I reckon we hit 360, maybe 370. Like, no one's going to get that in 2 games. United come out and they're like about 2 for 300 and we were shitting up hands. Arsenal smacked about 700, I think. But that doesn't matter. What mattered was it was United's first not breakaway team, but sort of sister team, Tallinn Falcons. Initially started by Jay, finished off by Rafaf this season. Riff-Raff, who smashed the stunning 100. Sorry I forgot to mention that in the Baltic Cup. That 100 was amazing, Riff-Raff. Yeah, well done, Riff. Pull the Estonia out the shit. So, after we're going to present the Champions of 40 Overs Award, and then we're going to have a break, and we're going to come back and we're going to go into individual awards. But Jay and his team, led by Riff-Raff in the end, brand new team, qualified for the finals, won the semi, won the grand final. Well done, Tallinn Falcons, you were 40 over champions. Nice slow walk, Riffy, I like it. Yeah. You signing autographs on the way, mate, or what? I got 2, yeah, okay. Riff. That's okay. session number?
40.
Well done, guys. Riff Raff, a few words about your 40 over season.
Hey everyone, good evening everyone. It was a great pleasure for playing in Estonia. Okay, sorry. Thanks to all the management and everyone who arranged this season and make it happen in this crucial situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Riff Raff. Thank you, mate. Well, it's yours to keep. Yours to keep. Vodka, fine Italian, tequila, mix it together. Long Island iced tea. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I spoke a bit in that first session. I'm not going to speak that much in the next few sessions. Let's have a break, have a durry, get yourself a drink, and come back in about 15 minutes for the next part. Thanks, guys. About to get started, boys and girls. Got some time, it's alright. We not too bad for the first session. Probably get a fight from Clyde though, but we'll argue over the disciplinary panel. G'day Paul Bradley from England. Thank you for logging on. Paul's a massive ambassador of cricket in Estonia. Hoping Paul can come back one day. Paul? Huh? Multiple, yeah, he's online. G'day Paul. Hey Paul. Thank you for watching. Hoping John from Spain is watching too. Okay, do we nearly have everyone? Okay, so this is a 40 over 6. Most of you guys, no, I think Stu wasn't down here somewhere. Two, yeah. Okay, so most of you probably study this every Monday afternoon after Crossy's got all the details sorted and everything's fucking back in some sort of order. The bowling, for those who are on equal wickets, for those who don't know, goes by your average. And in either the T20 or the 40 overs, there's like 6 people locked on the same amount of wickets. So the higher you're placed means your average was better. So let's go through a few here. What we got? So we got Ali Masood at 11, so 6 wickets. Bispaloo. A few of the regulars there, Nan. The retirement home didn't let Nan out tonight. Was it too late for him, was it? Or? G'day Nan, if you're watching. Can bang a 6 though, can bang a 100 metre 6, being 110 going. Yeah. Good old Omir. Where is the frog in the blender tonight? Where is Omir? Getting, okay. So Crossy, who won a couple of bowling awards last year, was sharing it around this year, being captain. He didn't bowl himself as much as he would have been bowled usually, being a team man. Wahid. And there we go. Shiba gets a mention down the bottom, 3 for 44. Mahbub, all-rounder from the Tatu Wolves. Paco, 3 wickets. Decent. Adam Dwyer, is Adam back from drinks? Where is Adam? Yeah, hey mate, we're going. Brucey 24. Where's Brucey tonight? Where's Brucey? At home, hope he's watching this. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's all good. Everyone had a pretty good season. Lots of shared wickets there, 40 overs. But now's the fun time. Who's in the top 10? Let's have a look. Hello? Okay. 10th place, Rana, 7 wickets. Shoaib, 7 wickets in 40 overs. I think she smiled for you, Shoaib. Rama Singh, 8 wickets. Oh, we got here, student. No, Bijan, 8 wickets. Is he a hat wearing backwards, Bijan? Okay, we have Walid, 9 wickets. One run out in the ECN final, we'll talk about later. Okay. We have in this 9 wickets, I think from the Stallions. I couldn't fit all on one card, sorry. Adil, 9 wickets in 4th place. Okay, we're up to the top 3 now. Who's going to win, the player or the banker? Adita, 17 wickets. What a jump. Here we go, 2nd place. Anurag wickets. First place.
Only on one ball.
Well done, all the lucky winners. Please give your bets, please.
Hey, Javier, come place your bets. Where is he? Here he is, Javier. Don't recognise me there. You haven't got one, mate.
It's always nice to like play for fun and then yeah. Then you also get reward for that, and it's amazing to like you just went for like to have some fun weekend. Then you just like end of the year you get a reward. That's pretty amazing, and thanks to all the players in the team to show like competitive competitions, and to the management as well to arranging such a good show. And I like the competition, especially between the clubs, between the players. I didn't know that there's so much of like cricket in Estonia. It's been 2 years I'm here, but this is the first time I'm playing in Estonia, and just like I felt really nice, and I feel motivated to play more, and I'm looking forward to it. Thanks everyone.
Okay, so yeah, it's great to play against Habib this season. Very challenging player, bowling batter, massively respected around the Estonian Cricket Association. So well done, Habib, well earned, and I hope you're going to hang around a little bit longer, challenge us a little bit harder both with the bat and the ball. Now, this is an interesting one. This is the 40 over batting 11 to the rest. And is it on here? Let's have a look. So you got Walid up the top, yeah. Mayo, is Mayo not here? Where's Mayo tonight? He should be here. Ali Masood again. You got Moni there. Right here. Bimal. You got Bijon, Ali, Bilal, Masood, Shoaib, Bruce, Timor, like Filer. You have got what could possibly be a national Estonian team of batters lower than 11th. Robbo was late to the party. Uncle, you got Trav there, Hippo's owner. You got Ash, maybe underbatted this year, Ash. Maybe you want to push like top 8 next year or something. Yeah. All-rounder Ash. But as we head into the top 10 when it comes to batsmen, for those who don't know, we'll see who finishes at the top. There's one surprise. It's not safe.
Bets, please. Thank you.
Top 10 batsmen.
Top 10 batsmen, 40 overs.
Anurag, 162 runs. Marco, 180 runs. Mahbub, 224 runs from the balls, including a massive century with Mahbub. Safe at 7th place, 257 runs. Adita, 267 runs. Safe just being a gentleman by letting someone else win the batting trophy this year, I think. Rana Raman, 278. Habib, 316 runs. We're starting to get into serious territory now. Arslan, 327 runs. Well done, Arslan. Hey, Mr. Muscles, 362. Hey. First place. Reba.
push your hand the right way.
What about sir?
On your referee.
Okay. How I bang him 125 meters. Okay guys, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a quick break from some cricket statistics at the moment. We're going to crack into, for those who were here last year, it's a Kahoot quiz. So it's a quiz you play on your phone, so I need you guys to create a team of 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 players, depending how many you want to do. I'll give you some more information, but what I would suggest, I'll give you a couple of minutes. If you weren't involved in the 2020 outdoor season this year, find yourself someone who was to give yourself maximum opportunity. So work it out and I'll get this quiz sorted and I'll let you know the pins in a second. What you need to do is so you'll need to get to your mobile phones, log on to kahoot.it. So kahoot.it. Log on to that. And then I'll give you a pin number, then you choose your team. So someone in your group, whether it be 2, 3, 4 or 5, or if you want all the trophies yourself, go alone. Kahoot.it, and then the next steps will come. And while you guys get yourself sorted, I've made this quiz a little bit of a mix. There's mainly based on cricket in Estonia. There's a couple of Estonia-only questions for a couple of the Estonian girls we have here tonight who know absolutely F all about cricket. I'm hoping they get those 2 questions right. It's coming, 2 secs. And then because Tim Heath has piled so much time and money and effort into the association, the last couple of questions are based around Tim. So if you don't know much about Tim, you've got about 20 seconds to catch up with him and have a chat.
How many runs did I make in 2022? 3.
Not quite as many as Habib and Saif. Alrighty, so if we're all on the screen that says game pin, I'll get this thing started. That's my cat, by the way, Dorito. My cat's at the top. She's about 3 weeks old. Yeah. And she's still a pain in the ass now, but I love her. And all you do, for those who haven't done the Kahoot quiz, I'll put the questions on the board. There'll be 4 answers, you just got to match them up, yep? Coming, pin's coming, pin's coming. Okay, here comes the pin number, ladies and gentlemen. After the pin number, you get to choose your team name. Be adventurous is what you want. Maybe. There it is, 6068492. If anyone's watching on YouTube, there is no sound clip here. So you can join from afar if you wish. There is no sound clip in this. 6068492. Whack in some names. And we'll get this quiz started about Estonia, cricket in Estonia, and Tim Heath. What? Ladies 11. Nice. Lots of runs. Nice. My do, I love it. Going along, mate. Well done. Morning. Rana. I am. Okay. Chicken wings. Beautiful. So what happens is a question comes up on the screen. There's answers. There's 4 answers. One of them is correct. And there's time. You get points for time as well. So, one nice. Alright, has anyone not entered yet? Anyone online has not entered? What? Anything? No? Okay, so let's get this quiz started. First question coming up. First question coming up. Here we go. Read the question clearly. Answer correctly. So this means if Save scored 120 overs and 40 overs, he counts as one person. That was a massive 6, Richard Parkin. 7 seconds left. Waiting an answer. Hey, nice. 11 players scored 100 this year. So yeah, everyone went with 7. Okay, so next, Robbo, let's see who got the 3. Hollow is some sort of monkey and a lucky guess by Lotta, I'm guessing. Alright, let's get some redemption with the next question here. Okay, question number 2. How many bowlers took 4 or more wickets in T20 only? 4 or more wickets. There's still 10 seconds left, so you got time to think about this. 64 bowlers took 4 or more wickets this season. This is pretty much what I did when I saw it, and I messaged Robbo. I said, Robbo, can you check Cricket HQ to make sure I'm not crazy? This is ridiculous. These are the questions I ran through. There are 64 players in T20 that got 4 or more wickets. And even then, it still wasn't me. So, and we played with 65 players this season. All right, let's have a look at the scores now after that, baby. Oh, here we go. This is very close. Alrighty. Okay, who's ready for payback? Question number 3. Robbo. There's 30 seconds of this time. There's still 15 seconds. Nice. Well done, guys. Who was the one who said Latvia, Lithuania? I'm hoping that was just a rush to press the other one. Okay. We're away. Ladies 11, lots of runs. Hollow, ET. I don't even know what the 4th one is. This one. Alright, when are we going to get outside the cricket questions? We don't know, but let's have one more look, Robbo. How many wickets did the only women's player take this year, Victoria? 0, 2, 4, or 6? Hey, well done, Victoria. 2 wickets against the men. Are either of those 2 men here tonight who got bowled out by a teenage girl? Probably not. Have it? Have it? Penny trophy to Victoria, please. Anyway, no? Waist tight. Waist tight. Anyone's not out. Pillory. Ronnie's not a girl. He's got tendencies. Okay, yeah, so well played, Victoria. Here we go. Oh, it's time. Here we go. Chicken wings. Chicken wings. Give me some of those chicken wings. All right, well, this is a very tight contest. Okay, next question, please, Robbo. Who tied for most sixes with me in the 40 over comp? Habib, Arslan, Ali, Rifak, Rifraf. And this is only because Safe played 2 games. Habib. But basically, from what we've worked out tonight, next time you come into the bat, we bring Victoria onto the bowl. 12 with Rifrak, yes, I think Rifrak was 2nd, Arslan 3rd, Ali 4th, and all separated by about 1-6, like it was really close competition. All right, Robbo, scores and the doors, Jim. Scores and the doors. Scores and the doors. All right, ladies 11. ETS Stallions. Lots of runs hanging in there. There's only about a question in the top 5, so who knows where this quiz is going to go? Robbo does, because he's got the next question. How many bowlers took a fifer in the 40 over matches? That means 5 wickets while bowling your overs. And the Pfeiffer reference there is Michelle Pfeiffer in Dangerous Minds. How many bowlers took 5 wickets? Yeah. 6. Got number 5 correct, yeah. So, this is quite interesting because 64 people in T20 took 4 or more, and including sub 1, yes, and only 5 people took a fifer in the 40 overs. So Michelle was left alone this season. Okay, so Robbo, Scories and the Dories. Oh, ladies 11. Okay, there's 1 or 2 questions in this, and we're about to leave cricket really soon, I think. All right, Robert, 1 more, please. Number 7, we're only halfway. Who is currently top of the ICC Test Championship table? Australia, India, New Zealand, England. Not rankings, who is top of the table at the moment? Considering COVID and travel restrictions, this should be a tricky question. That is literally answered in the order. It's India 1, Australia 2, England 3, New Zealand 4, and it's all separated by a P's moon as well. 1 second, drink break.
আমার খুব
আপনি জানেন
আপনি চলে
প্রশ্ন বাকি প্রশ্ন বাকি
টপ কালের
Okay, a lot of drink. Robbo, next question, everybody. Let's have a look at question, whatever it is. Number 8. Which city was Australian all-rounder Andrew Simons born in? Brisbane, London, Sydney, Birmingham. And that 6 by Tim Pilot is probably still going. That's a massive 6. Yeah, right, Birmingham. So I did a quick Wikipedia. Obviously, he's a West Indian father, and apparently his mother was Scandinavian. I'm not even lying. That's what it was. Okay, next question. Sorry, scores and Z-doors. Oh, lots of runs, making a big move. TS on fire, 6 answers in a row. ET Stallion. So we are still about 2 questions separating the top 5. Not sure who number 6 is, but can't be too far away. Let's go, Robbo. In what year did Estonia join the EU?
2004.
2, 4, 6, 8. Nice. 2008 is a little bit optimistic, but yeah, 2004 definitely. Referendum was held in 2003. I think there we go, we're back. I think the percentage to vote yes to join the EU was about 63, so it wasn't overwhelming, but there was enough. And yeah, they joined the EU in 2004. So, one second, Robbo, don't do it. So, if you're going to have a question like that that's run by me, there is no doubt that the next question has to be Eurovision related. Let's go, Robbo. In what year did Estonia win the Eurovision Song Contest? Oh, 2003. Okay, this is a nice little breakup here. What's it? I'm not going to sing it. Was it Dave Benson and Daniel Cutter or something like that? Everybody? One second. Okay. All right, let's come back from this. Next question could be completely random. Ladies. Okay, so we at this stage, so we got ladies and TS. Ladies on top of the TS. Lotta, ET. So it's not over and done with ET and canoeing, but it's not far off. It's going to be a little bit of a showdown now. So Robbo, one more question, please. Here we go. Which cricketer is Sportsbet.io's brand ambassador for 3 years? Shigadawa. Shane Warne, Brett Lee, AB de Villiers, MS Dhoni. Nice. 5-1. Okay, to be fair, we have had discussions with all four of them, actually. We have sourced out all four of them. Warney was close, but Brett Lee, it doesn't pain me to say it, like I wasn't a massive fan of Brett Lee, but he's an absolute ripping bloke, absolute top bloke. Absolute gentleman, hard-working fella, and absolute legend of the game. And really appreciate his efforts he's putting into our business. So well done, Brett Lee, if you're watching, and absolute legend, mate. Scores in the doors. Oh, it's close. Here we go. Lots of runs. You need a bit of luck now. Lots of runs. Colour Wings. Yeah, you need a bit more luck. ET. See, here we go. You can almost take fourth place here. One more Robbo, please. Thank you. 12. What two EPL teams are Sportsbet sponsoring this EPL season? Watford, Liverpool, Southampton, Newcastle, Watford, Chelsea, Arsenal, Southampton. Nice shot, Ashish Rana. Nice little spread, yes. So for those who picked Watford, Liverpool, Watford, Chelsea, yes, we did. But the secret's in the question. This 2021 EPL system, Watford aren't in the EPL this year. They've dropped down. So yeah, no Aston Villa, not yet. Yeah. So yeah, Arsenal, Southampton. Okay. Robbo scores and Z doors. Oh, ladies are kicking away here. It's probably to be expected as the back half of this quiz is sort of orientated to Tim and the money that Tim generously donates to the association. So thank you very much, Tim. I'm glad you're getting these questions right. And Viola, yeah, well done. All right, one more, Robbo, let's rock on. 13. What car does Tim drive? Black Mercedes, grey Nissan, black BMW, not sure. We are playing when he arrives at the ground. Who wrote that? Who wrote that answer? He's been really good this year. Who did this quiz? The fucking tuk-tuk. No, he's been really good this year. I paid out on two answers there. What? I want a black Mercedes, so I put that in there, and grey Nissan, I think, Murali and Mayo Drive. Black BMW it is, and yeah, for the person who put not sure, we arrives when you're playing the ground. None of us played yesterday. None of us played yesterday. What is the new car? That's not an option, so protest void. Payouts are done. New bets, please. Oh, this is now close. This is now a four-way tussle. Here we go. All right, we still have Colour Wings is on a roll. We go into the next question. 2 to go. Which two teams are playing the AFL Grand Final tomorrow? Brisbane and Sydney, Adelaide and Melbourne, Richmond and Geelong, Hawthorn and West Coast. Nice. So, for the two who said Hawthorn on West Coast, drinks are on me for the rest of the night, can't see anything. Hey. Richmond and Geelong are playing in about 12 hours. Massive final tomorrow. Heldecki, Dan Renwick, close association with ECA, his pub. Alright, last question and most important question was scores and doors. Okay, so 9,000, 8,700, 8,400, 7,400. No. So there's 3 teams who can win. 3 teams going into this last question. Here it is. Which is team's favourite football team? Absolute Hawks, Narva Knight Riders, the Parnu Penguins, or the Geelong Kissus? Kiss it. Kissut. Geelong Kissut. Absolute Hawks. So even after Tim Cross yelled Geelong Cats, 7 people went to Absolute Hawks. Okay, so we're down to the final score now. Robbo, let us know what's going on. Ladies 11, 3rd place. Oh, who's first? Lots of lots of runs has to come down and get their rewards. Speech.
Well, I feel like cricket master.
All set. Alrighty. Now, back on to proper cricket stuff. Okay, Miss Kim is not really fine. Right. Okay, so as mentioned previously in the past, there's a lot of people who do a lot of effort for the Esteemed Cricket Association. Administration, putting out flags, Crick HQ. But there's one guy who does more than ever. Travis, come get me an award, mate. Well done, Trev.
Tim Heath, thank you for the opportunity to do all of this, really. I mean, otherwise we'd be walking around the Hippodrome mowing it every week, but now we have a beautiful ground, so thank you very much. And guys, I challenge you to beat me next year to win this award. It's easy, just rock up and do what needs to be done. So, just do something. So, that's it.
And it's not just the work that Trav does in the grounds, it's the moving of stuff. Like we moved from the Hippodrome to Tiscary. Who did the move? Trav and Robbo. Something's broken at Tiscary. Who fixes it? Robbo, Trav and Robbo. It's in the off season. It's like, oh, Stu, we've got this team wants to come play in Estonia. Thanks, Trav. I'll look into it. Anything that happens in the ECA, Trav knows about it. And yes, he does work at the ground and get paid a little bit, but it's the stuff he does outside and on the board, and the questions he asks, and the shit that he gets done. And it's not just for us, he does it for the rugby as well. There's a lot of stuff that Trav does for the rugby that we don't know about, and probably the Rugby Association don't know about. So as much as he's told me the last couple of years, do not give me any sort of volunteer word, I do it because I love it. Yeah, I agree with you, but as a whole association of rugby, coin gaming and cricket, we really appreciate what you do, Trav. Cheers, mate. one more before we break after this, is it? Is it? Break after this, so one more, then we'll have another quick break. Yes, we all know we have been around cricket a long time. But at some stage we have to start cricket, whether it be we start at 12 or 14 or 25 or 30 or 40. When we start playing cricket, we love it. And the next award is called the Newcomers Award, but this isn't an award for a newcomer to cricket. This is a newcomer to Estonian cricket. And this player has brought with them enthusiasm, commitment, dedication, love for the game that all of us understand, and she, keep it another way, she takes it to a new level like Romeo does. I'd like to give, as an association and people loving public, I'd like to give Victoria the Newcomer Award for the ECA. Hold the trophy. We're in this together. Victoria, would you like to say a couple of words? Being Estonian is probably all it's going to be, so here you go. What does it mean to play cricket against big ugly men like myself on a Saturday and bowl us out?
Well, it's actually really fun to play with older men. I enjoyed playing cricket, and I want to play it much more often, and yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Very good. Thank you, Victoria. Okay, so thank you, Victoria. Thank you, so there was a discussion at the start of the presentation proceedings, me, Robbo, board, on what the ICC expect. The ICC expect that T20 is a premier competition within your association. So that's what we've been vying for. They pay the money, they make the runs, they pay the bills. But something happened this year that we can't deny it. It ascended T20 and put T20 back for a couple of seasons. The European Cricket Network came to town for the European Cricket Series, which it was called, and we hosted the T10 tournament at the end of July. And the amount of exposure the Estonian Cricket Association got was absolutely ridiculous. I need my notes for this one second. So a couple of years ago, I was contacted by this guy called Dan Weston on WhatsApp. Hey Stu, what's going on? I want to expand cricket in Estonia. At that stage, we were trying to do the same thing. I didn't quite know who this guy was, so I messaged the ICC contact in Germany. I'm really tired, I can't forget the guy's name. Apologies if you're watching. He's a big fella, nicest fella in the world, really promoting cricket in Germany. And I said, mate, I've got this guy, Dan Weston, messaging me. What's the deal? And he sends a message back going, Dan Weston's a great guy. Get involved with him. He's got massive ideas, just do what you can to get with him. At that stage, Dan Weston is an Australian living in Munich. Yeah, Munich. Opening batsman for Germany, national side. And he had some big plans. And we started contacting each other. We got involved between the ICC level, and then Dan wanted to get involved at the work level as well. Not that Dan, the other Dan. Yeah. So this is all one big loving family of Dan sharing the same passions that we share here. We're Australians, we're Indians, we're Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, English, living in Estonia. For some reason, even though the Estonians tell us all the time, why the hell are you here? We seem to love it here, and we stay here, and we tell the Estonians that we like it more than they do half the time. And then we promote cricket here. It feels like we're flogging a dead horse, but we actually do love it. And it's not just Estonia Central. Every other person living in a European country has that same sort of affection with their country because they know they love cricket. Anyway, Dan's got to a stage where he's invested in a network, and he goes around from country to country producing cricket that gets put to the World Wide Web, YouTube. In that ECN weekend, we had a massive setup. We had a new ground, which is perfect. We had to get people in from Latvia. We got Clyde to officially umpire. We got a tournament director from Spain, John. Thank you, John, if you're watching. We got Paul Bradley from England, Malta. He was at Malta, England, as tournament referee as well. We called in the big guns because we needed big help because there's big exposure. The situation was meant to start on Saturday. On Wednesday, the COVID situation went absolutely AWOL. John couldn't come, Clyde couldn't come, Paul couldn't come. We had no umpires, we had no tournament referee. The whole situation was an absolute diabolical mess. But by the time we got to Friday, we managed to get everyone in town due to some fancy email work and Estonian border guards giving us the okay for one special exemption. And ECN kicked off on Saturday morning. There was 22 hours across Saturday and Sunday of live coverage showing Estonia at its absolute best. It was sunny from dusk to dawn. We had continuous commentary, and this is a perfect time to shout out to Andres Berget and one Richard Parkin who spoke about cricket to the whole world for 22 hours, Richard. Thank you from everyone here. That was an incredible commentary performance. Absolutely amazing. Bit from column A, bit from column B. But yeah, and thanks to the clubs, thanks to the people, this was something that most of us had never experienced before. And let's not forget the dodgy Indian punters who were messaging the week leading up to the ECN. And the guys, was that you, Adam? Was you messaging us, were you? The guys rocking up to the ground from Portugal in COVID times to watch us play cricket. We're like, what's your interest in Estonian cricket, you Portuguese? Ben shot. Anyway, we had Trav and John and all those guys sorted out, but there's something we'd never experienced at all. And it took me by surprise. And I won't lie, I played on that first day. And when I batted, I could see these guys in the bushes, and I was put off. I'm like, I just want to play. At the start, which, you know, let's start out. A few shots of Varnatal in and the drinks break, it's all good. But it's like, is this what cricket is? Like, we just want to promote the game of cricket in Estonia, and we got all these Indian guys, and they were in the bushes with their binoculars from a distance, and we could all see them. Exactly, they weren't allowed on the property because you fucking kick their balls inside their throats. There's a massive, massive promotion of cricket in Estonia. 100,000 views on YouTube. We even did things like we had a players area, we had a scorers area, we had tournament director tents, all this sort of stuff. And we had our own representative, Clyde, who led the umpiring panel, who led the whole scrutineering of the umpiring with John for the whole 2 days, standing up, talking, promoting cricket. umpiring absolutely amazingly, to the point where I had Dan Weston phone me a couple of weeks later, and he said, Stu, I want Clyde to come and umpire other countries. So thank you very much, Clyde. Hi guys, we are nearly ready to get kick-started to the last session, heading towards the most important videos of the evening, the season-ending videos. Whoever wasn't involved in that ECN weekend certainly heard the reaction from around the room. That was a massive weekend for cricket in Estonia, and all our friends from around the world. My parents and my sisters are watching back home. It's the first time they've seen me play cricket in 30 years. Welcome back, ladies, Darren. But it was really amazing how everyone pulled together. Even on the Friday night, we called a meeting with the ECN network guys and the captains and the players of the teams. We had it at Hooker Palace. Thank you, Rana, for hosting us. And everyone was there, everyone was asking questions, everyone was excited because we wanted to make this the best event that was possible. And as a whole, we did. So there's going to be no individual awards from the ECN weekend because it wasn't an individual effort for everything that happened that weekend. Batters made runs, bowlers took wickets, but as a whole we came together as an association and we promoted the hell out of Estonia, and we were contacted for days afterwards about how amazing we were. The Baltic Cup came out of the ECN weekend because Latvia and Lithuania said, we want to come and play there. I get messages on the WhatsApp chat saying, when can we come to Tallinn? We go to Montenegro, I watched the ECN weekend, I want to come play in Tallinn. I never knew there was cricket in Tallinn. It was absolutely fantastic. So there's going to be no awards, there's going to be no medals, but we were presented with a trophy because someone had to win. And it's a pretty impressive trophy. But this trophy, first of all, I'd like to call down our captain. Don't come down yet, Tim. Well, one of the more remembered sentences that was said that weekend, considering we spent a lot of time together as an association, basically 7:30 Saturday to 8 o'clock Saturday night, and 8 o'clock Sunday to midnight Sunday night. We spent a lot of time together. But what Tim said was, you know what? We all have a role to play in this T10. He says, usually I want to go out there and I bat 100. But this T10 format and this year, it's not my role. Father and I made some runs, that was our role. But Tim's role was to skip at the side and get us to the premiership. Ronnie, who's not here tonight, he took 3 for 3 in the game where we needed him to take 3 wickets, and he did it. There's fielding on the boundary. Everyone played a role, and I'm sure they did it in all your own teams. But Tim Heath, as captain of the Tallinn Hippos, your role was skipper. You deserve to come up and take the ECN trophy. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Do you reckon he will? What's the odds on having a few words? You think? Congratulations, Tim. Here is your. Yeah, come up the stairs. There's your trophy. Right, Luis?
Don't go the wide lanes one now. What a representation of Estonian cricket we had during the ECN. And if we set a benchmark for what excellence looks like, that weekend was fantastic. to have 6 clubs, I think it was, out there playing. The lawn was mowed beautifully. The teams were all dressed properly. The umpires were correct. The commentating was brilliant, and the cricket was great. So I mean, that's what Australian cricket needs to be. And just to follow on from what she was saying, everybody had a role to play in the game, whether it be Tommy Hale saving 4 on the boundary or me dropping catches in the slips. It doesn't really matter. It was a wonderful representation of what we want to strive for cricket in Estonia. So if we set that benchmark and we aim to achieve that, we've got a good future ahead of us. So well done, thank you to all the teams who participated, everyone who got it ready, everyone who helped out on the sidelines. It was a real pleasure. I think we can all say that, to be a part of that tournament and bring on next year, and yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks, Stu.
Just one moment. Thank you for an absolutely amazing speech that hit every nail on the head. One more thing I want to add. Leading up to tonight, Rob and I had a discussion about which order we wanted to do this in. The T10 weekend with exposure to Estonian cricket was the pinnacle of the season, but we still needed to keep our roots firmly planted, so we're going to finish off with the T20 trophies. But before we do that, I'd like one person from each club who's not up here at the moment, so we have the talent hippos. I want one person from each club to come up here, and we're going to have a photo with, this is the trophy, but this is a trophy for the Estonian ECN weekend. So if you can make a decision now, come up, let's have a photo and a presentation, because all your clubs contributed to this weekend, and I can't let that go unnoticed as an association. So please, one person come up. Now, Romeo, you're the only one from your club, so you need to get up. Ash, up. Stallings, someone up from Stallings. Anyone else? Anyone from the Falcons here, Italian Falcons? Who used to play for the Falcons, Monty? Yeah, up. Sure. Shavers up, okay. Yeah, you're from the Falcons, beautiful. So, ideally I would like all the captains here tonight, but that's not possible, so we're going to represent the whole association and the ECN and what it did for the association as a group of people and for cricket in Estonia. So well done, guys. Congratulations. Thank you guys. You see? So yeah, there was a lot of work that week. John from Spain. Yeah, he loses his temper. One of the most knowledgeable cricket brains on the planet. I'm glad he was here with Paul Bradley, also one of the most knowledgeable cricket brains on the planet. And when these guys come to town, we can just chew their ear. They're in the same situation that we are now. They've just gone on 20 years to progress, and getting this experience come in is really important for us. So it's really super. So we thank those guys, and hopefully more times we can get some more people down and we can get it happening. There's one more thing I was going to say. Okay, so now, back onto the ECN. We need to... Pause it. I'll turn the light off for this one. Do you want me to do it? Yep. One second. This might take a minute because I want the light turned off for this, because the Hitler Reacts last year was to the lawn mowing situation at the Hippo. Had absolutely no effect this year. In fact, it was worse. And I didn't really know what to do. We had a really robust email chain between Clyde, Tim Filer and 10 other people regarding the LBW decision. That would have been hilarious, but last moment when I wasn't thinking, I went for a walk into the house. My house is about 3 square meters, so it wasn't long. And I'm like, bang, this is it. This is it. I was in Prisma working on this when this happened. I figured this is it. I just want the light turned off. The thing I want you guys to do is, the text can sometimes be really quick. Just one moment, I'll get this light turned off. So yeah, a little bit of an inside joke. Sorry, Natalia and Heike, for not knowing what the fuck happened just there. But it's pretty much what happened. We had this great idea to get every team involved in the ECN, which is fantastic, but operationally, what were we going to call them? We ended up calling them the Tartu Vikings, which is a mixture of Tartu and the Vikings Club. We had 3 players from 4 separate clubs in there. But going back to what I said before, no matter what we asked of them, any of you guys, you just went and did it. You wore the shirts, you mixed up your batting order to make sure that the Tartu guys got a shot at the top, or the Viking guys got a shot at the top. You didn't really play to win. We played to win, but you didn't know who you were playing with. It was completely random guys just given to you on the day. But you didn't complain. You didn't complain, you just went and played because it was the best interest of studying cricket. And what a good looking team. Hey? A big Shaki there on the right. We've got a shirt for Shaki. Big Shaq. Where is Shaq Attack anyway? Yeah. This just summarises the amount of effort that everyone in the association, everyone in the teams went to for this weekend to make it happen for the ECA. So one last thing about the ECN weekend. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Sorry? Okay, thank you. So what we got left on? Our 2 20s. So we've got a few thank yous now. We went with medals this time. So there's a lot of people who not only... Shubo, calm down. So a massive construction of work happened out at Tiscare, led by Travis, Tim, everyone involved. But there are a few people who aren't here tonight actually I'd like to thank. That grass is specifically flown in from England and has to be maintained. And the head... Look, lights. Was it lights? No? Oh yeah, sorry, we'll get the light on for the... Have a quick drink, guys. Because when we like to thank people, these guys have gone on and done all the stuff over and above, and I really want them to be recognised, and they need to be seen to be recognised. We'll just go have a quick minute break. 1 second. No, it needs to be brighter. I'm not sweating yet. Yes, that's the one. Yeah. Okay. So one of the little young fellas who looked after the ground and kept an eye out for us, his name is Patrick Lapima. He's not here this evening, but Patrick, thank you for your efforts towards the Estonian cricket ground, young fella. He had a friend by the name of Christopher Kartik. And Christopher, thank you for your efforts, and this one's for you. You can wear this while you're mowing ground at Tiscarea next season, young fella. Thank you very much. Another gentleman by the name of Simon. He's almost heads groundman there. He spent so much time at Tiscarea ground getting this ground ready for us. Even for the Baltic Cup, when it was announced a couple of days out, he had to go cut it with no notice, and it was like 3, 4, 5 hours to do, and it was a massive effort. He didn't complain once. He's not playing the game at the moment, but he loves it, and he also loves the way that we play on the grounds of these cups. So Simon, thank you very much. I want to give you this on behalf of everyone. Thank you. This fourth medal goes to a young lady who was involved in the association but didn't play. Calm down, Victoria, you got enough awards already. You only got 2 wickets, come on. But this young lady who, I'm not sure how much has been involved in cricket before, but she's really interested, and she's also from Tartu. And every time she comes up to Italian cricket, she scores. She scores cricket, sorry boyfriend, she scores cricket on Cricket HQ. But when she first came up, the first game in the round, she's like, I don't know how to do this. I'm like, well, okay, that's 50% of the association, so that's not bad. But anyway, each time she came to Estonia, came to Tallinn, she learned and she learned and she learned, and then she was scoring Cricket HQ for us in the Baltic Cup. And it's really good standard. And Shafali from Tartu, thank you for your efforts. And this is, I'll give this to Romeo. Romeo, come up, take us down to Tartu on the train.
For Shafali.
Yeah.
For Shafali.
Thank you, Shafali. Really appreciate it. The last one goes to another lady, actually, who also didn't play this year, who's been away for a couple of years, but came back to Tallinn this year at the right time because we're hosting the European Cricket Network, and then we hosted the Baltic Cup, and then we needed shit done with gyms in fucking Tartu, and we needed emails sent, and yeah, you can't offer a bottle of vodka at 1 o'clock in the afternoon because you're on work time. So, Lena, please come down and take this medallion. Thank you for all your efforts now. And we apologise for the amount of stuff we're going to ask you to do in the future.
In Estonian.
Speech.
Thank you, guys. I'm just really happy to help out the Estonian Cricket Association, whether it's in whether it involves getting a venue in charge or just doing scoring on ECM weekends. I'm happy to help out anywhere where you want me to.
Yeah.
1 second. For the local folk, Eesti keeles.
aitäh, aitäh kõigile, et ma saan aidata teid ja mul on väga hea meel, et ma saan panustada Eesti kriketisse. Vahet ei ole, kas see on siis Tartus väljakute organiseerimisel või punktide üleskirjutamisel mõnikord Tallinnas. Aga ma väga loodan, et ma olen vajalik ka tulevikus ja te tahate minu abi.
Lena, 1 second. Back up here. On top of that, so we have some presents for more volunteer stuff, because it's not only that sort of stuff that Lena does, there's other stuff the ECA she does. So on top of that, in future credits, we'd like to present you with some nice Prosecco and some flowers. Thank you very much. Okay, so there's 5 more of these little babies left. Gee, I need to get my calculations right or I am in trouble. So, 1 second. You got it.
5, 2, 5. One combination.
Okay, so there's a lady who's not here tonight, who was here last year. Her name is Johanna. She works for Coin Gaming Law. And she does all Estonian law stuff officially. Cadbury does all the other stuff. I get to do it 4 o'clock in the morning when I'm drunk and I can't read emails. But officially, I get Johanna to do a lot. So thank you, Johanna, for the efforts and my useless use of the ID card and forever forgetting my pins. So this is to you, Johanna. I'll bring it to you next week when you come back from your break. Enjoy your break. Also working for Coin Gaming, and for some reason, year after year, she still tolerates my Slack messages, Natalia. She's our accountant, and she's forever keeping me in line, again like she did last year, saying, Stu, you can't do that. So Natalia, please come and accept this gratitude on behalf of me personally, and also as an association, because what you do, you keep us in line, and we really appreciate it.
I've just one thing to say that, Stu, I'm really glad that you have done the smart ID. So thank you for that. Thank you, you're doing an amazing job here.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Natalia. Guys are generally shit at paperwork, and if I'm wrong, let me know. Cross is okay at it. Yeah. Majority of guys who do this absolutely shit at paperwork, and it gets associations kicked out of ICC. United States is out, Switzerland's out, Croatia's out, Russia's out. There are countries on the blacklist. What's that? Zimbabwe was out, but the biggest country that's nearly been kicked out at the moment is South Africa. And that is devastating for someone like me who grew up in the 80s and 90s to see South Africa come back into ICC cricket. Alan Donald, Jonty Rhodes, Kepler Wessels, Hansi Cronje, regardless of what he did, these guys and South Africa were coming out of a bad period, but now South Africa are in a really bad place due to bad management. And as much as guys do what they try to do to promote the game, we need people like Johanna and Natalia who are experts in that field to keep us in line. And whenever Johanna and Natalia say to me, "Shoot, you can't do that," as much as, did you say every day? It's almost every day. But what they do, they're professionals, they keep the Estonian Cricket Association in line, and they keep the Estonian government away from taking control away from us. Because in Denmark and in Norway, the governments have stepped into cricket associations and taking control away from the body and making it a government-run organisation, and we don't want that. So thank you for the pen pushers, basically I call them, but it's a very important role. A late addition to the ECA because I have dreams and I'm in a good organisation that have dreams. Tim has dreams, Robbo, Trav, Mark, everyone here has dreams. So tonight we wanted a live stream and other stuff we want to do the Cricket Association that you don't really know about. But Lotta has decided to give up her Friday night and manage the live stream for us. And I'd like to appreciate that on behalf of the ECA. Come down, grab yourself a gift, Lotta, thank you very much. This also includes next year's a 2-year deal, I forgot to say that, but at least you get a bottle of wine now. It's a lucky tip. Maybe it's the one you picked, maybe it's not. Speech, you get to choose your language. Croatian?
Well, it's been a good night so far, so I'm happy to come next year. Yay!
Thank you very much. Any questions online, or we just answering them for us? Or was Filer answering them, Trav answering them?
Stu, the young guys that do the groundskeeping in summertime, they checked in and said thank you. And,
thank you guys, really appreciate it.
We'll pass on the medallions to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's enough damage that we do to our own ground with the tents and the containers. The last thing we want is damage to the grounds, and these little young people, they drive around the motorbikes, they keep people off it, so thank you very much, young guys. Too young. Too young. You're going to be, actually they're not fat enough, you're going to be over like 90 kilos to play for us, yeah?
I think one 12-year-old boy is 90 kilos, so he's fine.
Okay, alright, okay, last two thank yous, and then we'll get into the T20 awards, and then we're almost done. Before we get to these two thank yous and the T20 awards, I'd like to make a shout out to a person who's made tonight absolutely passable. He's gone out of his way last year as well when he wasn't even in the country. But everything you see up here, everything that's not just a screenshot that I've done, every video, every music clip, Robbo has done the whole bloody thing. Thank you, Robbo. I haven't asked him much. I've tossed up an idea and he's come back with 10 others and he's just gone and done it. He's probably slept 10 hours this week, but he's a welcome addition to the ECA because he's got work standards that we really need here. Really appreciate your work, Robbo. Thank you very much.
Well done, Robbo.
Yes, David.
Now these last two, I'm going to call them up at the same time because they're probably both in the same situation. Both Estonian, both hanging out with non-Estonians, both putting up with not just a crazy work life, but then on top of that, a crazy cricket life. And then when it gets the quiet time of cricket, it actually gets busier for these people because they have to then go to administration mode all times of night, all times of day, emails and messages and Cricket HQ and ICC, and we need to get this done, and touring people are coming. And there's other things we could be doing. But for me and Tim to have people like Kadri and Hannah in the same house, we can't buy a bottle of champagne big enough, so please, Kadri and Hannah, we really appreciate the efforts you go to letting us administer Estonian cricket vaguely okay.
Get a bigger bottle next year,
In the middle, too.
Speech. ECA English.
No, we can't do a speech. It's actually a good thing to have
Put it in your
two
mouth.
families. One is your own family with all the good and bad. And then the second thing is to have like ECA family with all its good and bad. And thank you everyone for being in our lives. That's all we can say.
I'm just gonna copy now Victoria's words. Old guys, keep going because the younger generation needs to come with you. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. All right, now we are almost at the end. We are absolutely smack bang on time. Okay, so T20s, ICC's Pride and Joy. That's for the after party. Code word Montenegro. Yeah. Okay, now the ICC's Pride and Joy and the one we love playing, short, sharp and shiny T20s. So this year, as a whole, we had a really remarkable year at the ECA. We had brand new team win the 40 over comp. We had Hippos and Stallions play off in one of the most epic finals in ECN history that came down the last over. That was incredible. Baltic Cup was pretty impressive. Montenegro was pretty close. But the Talent Stallions exceeded expectations and absolutely dominated in the T20 field. From start to finish, Safe and his men, absolutely exemplary behaviour on and off the field. Extremely talented cricketers. He came in like a wrecking ball and exceptionally hard to play. And you play the game like it should be played. You play it hard and fair, respectful, and we respect you back. And we really hope that you guys have a long time. And you guys won the T20 Premiership quite easily. So congratulations, Talent Stallions, on a marvellous first season overall. So if someone would like to come up. Wahid.
Safe speech.
Now this is a speech we were waiting for from before.
Yes.
Safe. Have a few words.
It was wonderful, and I'm very delightful to being recognized for the game that we love, and really happy that everything went the way we wanted. And everybody in our club, all the guys, they did very nice, and they were cool enough to listen to me all the time, because on the field I'm most of the time yelling at them. So heads up to you guys played very well, and hopefully we can continue the same streak next year as well.
Thank you, sir. One second, so we go into some statistics now. Just as it loads up, I must admit, this is just a personal thing here. All the new clubs recently have done an amazing job. Stallions, you've been absolutely excellent what you've done, so keep it up, keep the standard high, keep pushing everyone, and it's going to increase the quality of Estonian cricket, so thank you very much, guys. Enjoy that. Premierships don't come around all the time, unless you're the Stallions. But you never know when your next one's going to be, so really enjoy it, you really deserved it. First year, indoor, T20, fabulous effort, guys, congratulations. Okay, so T20 stats, so this looks like the batting, 11th to 43rd. Let's have a look, let's analyse, let's sit down, deep dive. Was it bowling? So, apologies, it's the bowling. It's the bowling. Yeah, that's all good, yeah. No, good shout. So, in 11th place is 14 wickets. Like 14 wickets is a good shout out. Still didn't get top 10. Got Savio from Tartu. Maya again, like Maya's in it. Where is he tonight? Come on. Good old Brucey, fucking Romeo! Yeah! Where are you, mate?
Sub-player.
And yeah, as you go down through the lists, all the usuals. Geez, we played a lot of cricket this year, yeah. Like, considering how late we started, this is a massive effort. Kush from Tartu there, 6 wickets, and he's 37th. So, as mentioned before, there's a lot of people tied on a lot of wickets, and it goes down to averages. So what we need now is we need someone to present the top 10, and it's not going to be me. Have a look. Top 10.
No bets, thank you. Top 10 bowlers, 20 overs.
Shubo, 14 wickets, you little devil. Anurag, 14 wickets, there he is, yeah, doing it for the girls, eh? Khabib, 14 wickets, this is where the averages come into it. Junaid, 14 wickets, and a better average than Habib. Rizwan, 14 wickets with a better average than the rest. They walk in the park. Shevin, 15 wickets with your legs. And a few quicker straight ones. Bilal, 15 wickets. More later. Parter, 16 wickets for the Tigers. Bill Parter, 4'2", can take a wicket though. Ali, 17 wickets in the T20s. Well played, Ali. Top place. Shoaib, 19 wickets. Hat on. Shoaib, that is a pretty imposing off spinner there. Tell us how you got those 19 wickets.
Good evening, guys, once again. First of all, I would like to thank to ECA to arranging this lovely evening. About this trophy, I'm a bit lucky to have it because of there were a couple of good bowlers who deserve it too. But yeah, it's very inspiration for me, and hopefully I will gonna do much more better, much more better next year. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Shoaib. Shoaib's underselling himself a little bit there.
Well done, Shoaib.
A couple of years ago, when I popped across, Shoaib was a dashing opening batsman for Sarama.
With a full head of hair. I knew the trophy.
Made a lot of runs, and since that time he's worked on his bowling. And to be opening batsman for Sarama, to then end up being the leading wicket taker in the ECA a couple of years later, that's a massive lot of work, Shoaib, and all kudos to you. Well done, sir, and congratulations. Okay, so now, this is the batting order. This is where we see if 40 over cricket is followed safe into T20s. So we got 11 to 40. Huh? Marco, Pata, Shebin, Walid, Tamal, Fila, Bilal, Shoaib, Rana, Robbo. Bloody hell, that sounds like the Estonia 1 team for the Baltic Cup. Still not in the top 10. Murali, Rana, Rashid. Where is Rana tonight, these Vikings? Bimal again, Bruce, Kush, Mart, Rohit, Tamal. The list goes on. So to get into the top 10, you need to score more than 253 runs. That's not bad. Let's have a look. Let's have a look to see what the top 10 holds for those who haven't seen it.
Thank you. Top men batsman, 20 overs.
Encore 258. Mr. Bustles, 310. Happened to sit out 7 games, I won't mention that. None, 362. Well done, None. Adita, 369. Serious high level of runs here, boys and girls. Maidu, 392 runs. Not bad. Not bad. Reefback, 427 runs. Riff-raff. Get amongst it, Riff-raff. Come on. Ali, 442 runs. 4th place. Well played, sir. Habib, 507 runs in T20 crickets. Arslan, 635 runs. Number 1 batsman this season and in the ECA. Safe, 882 runs.
Don't get half of them up more than
Well done, sir. Any words?
Again, delighted to receive another award, and hopefully I will continue playing the same way.
Is it okay to disagree with the award winner? I hope you don't consider it the same same way. No, we do. Deep down we do. Deep down we do. Just do it against like the Stars and the Vikings and the Wolves, if you wouldn't mind, please. Leave us alone. Stop hitting hundreds against us. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We are nearly done. We have no more of me to go, but we have 2 videos we'd like you to watch. And this is a thank you to this season, a thank you to time gone by. The ECA's moved on from the Hippodrome and the ECA is growing as an association. It's a pleasure to be part of it, and it's a pleasure that you guys want to be a part of it as well. And we've got 2 videos, so watch the first one and we'll check the second one, and after that mingle and chat and enjoy each other's company, because we won't do this again until next outdoor season. So thank you to thank you to the Frey family who came. Oh, my apologies. Mr. Oliver Frey, would you like to come down to the front, please? This young gentleman has had to put up with cricket in his whole entire Estonian summer because his missus and his girls told him he had to, and he ended up liking it. So Oliver, on behalf of the ECA, here's the ECA tie. These things are limited number, and you've done your work.
Double Windsor!
Double Windsor.
Double Windsor, come on.
Oh, you can do it?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, no pressure, like 100 million watching online. What is it, 100 million yet, or is it just still 97? We tick over 100 million watching. Yes.
Well done.
I can't hear you.
Very good.
There we go. Have some words about your first season of cricket in Estonia.
It was a very enjoyable time. I don't fully understand all the cricket rules, but I do my very best. And I think you are just such a wonderful team, and we're really looking forward to spending a lot more time with you, making lots of good friends here. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. Thank you. I can't hear you. So Miriam, you had to put up with this as well, so thank you very much, Miriam. But you played. You had the experience of playing. There's a young lady in your team that hasn't played yet. So I'd like to ask Kaiser to come up and receive a Hippos jersey. Kaiser, come on. Hippo, hippo, hippo. Oi, oi, oi. Welcome to the Hippos. Would you like to say some words? Yes? Anything? Okay. Thank you for joining the Hippos. Yay! Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's enough from me. We have 2 videos left, please. Oh, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know what to do.
Auction. Auction off you.
We'll save it for the next preso. Alright, we're finished pretty much. Watch the last part of the season that we had. It was COVID ridden, it was travel ridden. The best thing that the ECA did was what?
That's what ECA did.
Right, yeah. We tried to get the season away for as much as we could. and we did what we could.
Before the video. Finish!
Nice done, see you guys play.
Turn the light on.
Just want to say, sorry for interrupting, but to the ECA board, particularly the President Stu, really, really tough season, but you guys have really worked well together, and from all the players' perspective, which I am one these days, thank you guys for really making it a fantastic season, putting on tonight, putting on the season, organising the association well, and from all the players, we really we love our cricket. So, Stu, President, the rest of the board, thanks very much, and keep up the good work.
Thank you guys, thank you all. And let's all celebrate and watch the game we love. Out.
Where you going, Robbo? Put your head on the right way. Crossing the sort of U-ball. I think we'll have a little colour check now, mate. Not a back check. About 3 miles behind the Crossing! No, this is sheep. Oh, sheep. Crossing! 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 Unballers. Unballers.
Thank you.
Thank you, bravo. Yeah, bravo. Sweet.